Buck streaked along the road toward the smoking log structure. Stark leaned forward in the saddle, knees tensed against the mount's sides as his right hand swept toward his holster. The building loomed before them now, with Stark urging Buck around the corner with a sharp pull of the reins. They rounded the edge on a greased streak and pulled up short, the scene before them ghastly. To his way of thinking, it appeared as if the store owner and family had been making ready to light a shuck. For whatever reason, the cost of doing business in the region had become too high, so the father had drawn a covered wagon up to the side door of the building. Stark guessed the family kept their quarters in the rear of the log structure. The man had probably been preparing to load his wife and kids inside the wagon along with some supplies when the marauders struck. And now he lay dead, his body a heap where it had fallen from the driver's box to land in a gory tangle on the grass. Stark registered the group of men a split second before they saw him and Buck, and that second made all the difference. The raiding party was 8 strong, 6 ragged and filthy men who stood in a crescent, ranged around 2 more of their number, who held the dead man's wife by her arms as she twisted and struggled to get loose. A nearby boy and girl looked on, their shoulders grasped by members of the audience. Stark saw all this in the instant before the nearest men turned, then their eyes widened in alarm. Stark palmed his Colt into his hand, swung one leg over Buck, and dropped to the ground. Then all hell broke loose. 2 of the raiders advanced on Stark, fists and voices raised, until they saw the gun in his hand, at which point they backed off. Not everyone came armed to the party, but a few did. One man turned, raising a sawed-off shotgun. Stark's response was instinctive. He turned sideways to minimize his profile, raised his arm and fired, the Colt like an extension of his hand. A neat round hole appeared in the shotgunner's forehead, and he keeled over backward, collapsing to the grass.